Dialogue. This month, my guest is the newest executive director of the Wendell Foster Center, and she's Carrie Blackham. Many of you might have met Carrie in her previous job at the Audubon Area Community Services, but Carrie, and as a graduate of the Western Kentucky University and Western New England College School of Law, she has worked for the past 11 years as the Family Assistance Services Director at the Audubon area, and has been with the Wendell Foster campus for developmental disabilities since September of this year. So the new director. So on behalf of the GRADD Dialogue and the whole region and the Owensboro community as well, I want to congratulate you and welcome you as a Wendell Foster campus, executive director. So let's just talk about what prompted you to make that change, from 11 years spending in Audubon and now at the Wendell Foster Center.
Well, that was actually a very difficult decision, but Wendell Foster's campus is all about the people, and it makes it a really special place. Their mission is to empower people with developmental disabilities to realize their dreams and potentials, and anyone who's worked in nonprofits for any length of time knows that that's what we do this work for.
Wendell Foster has been in our community for decades, I guess, very
Since
very
1947.
1947. The last time I took a visit, about maybe 6 months ago, when Terry, the previous director, was still there, and I had some folks from Czech Republic, who has been dealing with the similar services, for the adults with disabilities. And I was impressed, with the whole campus. So kind of give us an, kind of walk through the campus, what different buildings, you have and where is it located and things like that.
Okay, sure. We actually have a 12-acre campus on Triplet Street between 6th and 9th. And it goes over to Center Street. It's like, as I said, it's been around since 1947. That's where the original home was that housed the center. We have 4 16-bed cottages. That's our intermediate care facility. Those are the residents that live on the campus. We also have 8 3-person homes, and those are supported community living homes. So there are in-home supports for the people that live there. And we have 4 independent living homes.
I see.
On the campus.
In addition to that, you have people, the family can bring their loved ones, for the service?
Absolutely. We have many. Those are the residential services. We have many other services. We have the outpatient rehabilitation facility, and we have trained professionals, speech, occupational, and other therapies.
That's excellent for somebody who just been there for over a month or about a month?
Yeah, okay. Just about a month. Yes,
that's great.
Yeah. We're also the home to the Western Kentucky Assistive Technology Center. That is, and we serve the entire western part of the state with that facility, with that center, actually.
That's the one that I think recently you had maybe statewide or the Western Kentucky-wide meeting about the assistive.
Yes, we had a training, and those trainings are very well attended. The whole western part of the state, and sometimes statewide, people come to that. We bring in national speakers and provide information related to assistive technologies.
Even though this has been, I remember the old days when I came to Owensboro. One of my first volunteer work was at then used to be called Spastic, Owensboro Spastic Center. And that the things have changed. The assistive technology they're talking about, everything is so advanced. State of the art tools. To really to help out the disability. Can you give some examples, some of the things that that you guys do have?
Oh, sure. We have computer monitors that people can, if they look at them for a certain length of time and they sort of log in with their eyes, and then they can speak by focusing on different things on their screen. Like they could be pictures, it could be words, just depends on what the person's specific needs are.
Oh. So really kind of that brings up to the point, what are some of the disabilities that you guys provide assistance to?
Primarily, we have people with cerebral palsy and other disabilities, so intellectual and developmental disabilities. Most of our residents are medically fragile and have a lot of needs in those areas, but our outpatient facilities, it's more varied. So we have children and adults with just different physical disabilities and developmental disabilities. Our autism center, actually, that's one thing I didn't realize that the campus had. But we serve young children, school-age children through young adults at the autism program.
Are most of the students or the residents or even clients, are they short-term, long-term, or you have some folks that have been coming to the Wendell Foster for many, many years? Or?
Oh, yeah. For the most part, long-term. Now, in some of the therapies, it could be shorter-term. But our residential facilities, people have been there for decades.
And what is the service area? I mean, do you serve the whole Commonwealth of Kentucky, or do you have a certain concentration of the 7 counties of GRADD, or what you would call it?
Actually, I was another thing that surprised me. We're very far-reaching. We're definitely a regional organization.
Right.
We do have people from all over Kentucky, but we serve a number of people from Indiana, a number of people from Tennessee. We have a resident from Texas.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty far-reaching.
So it's not only it has been successfully locally, but has a national reputation for providing the services.
It does.
Yeah. Now, how is it supported? If a family who have somebody who does need that services, as
Most of our clients are Medicaid eligible. At least the residents are Medicaid eligible. So we are reimbursed through Medicaid. Some of our outpatient therapies are Medicaid or private insurance or private pay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know we have the GRADD, through the consumer directed option to the Medicare waiver. I know our staff do work with your staff, providing getting the services, or even have some clients that we visit as well. Recently, you had a big fundraising.
We did.
Talk about that.
We had our 11th annual benefit dinner and auction. We raised well over $100,000.
I see.
It's really an exciting event. It was the first one I had attended, my first week on the job. I know.
I had raised $100,000.
That's right. It was great.
Yeah.
I can't take any credit for it, but
now, as far as the operation is concerned, you have, I guess, different staff and different disciplines and everything else, assisting you and everything else. Tell us about the staff, as well as is that a governing body for this?
Well, we do have a 25-member board of directors that governs the organization. We have nearly 350 staff.
Wow.
that make sure everything happens the way it's supposed to. Everyone from direct service providers who work directly with the residents up to physical and occupational therapists.
So not only providing just one-on-one person, but also professional services as
Absolutely,
well.
yes.
Now I know, Carrie, it's been almost a month now that you've been there, and it's I don't know, the way it sounds like it's not that overwhelming for you to the point that you are getting hold of different services, different departments, and everything else. What was the one thing that you feel like the biggest challenge coming up for the campus, as you see it?
Well, as anyone who works in any nonprofit knows, funding is an issue.
Right.
We do receive government funding, but that doesn't cover all of our expenses. So we do fundraising events. So our biggest challenge is really involving the community and making sure the community understands what our needs are and being involved. And that fundraising event was very successful, but not everything we need relates to money. The community can help us out with just spending time with some of our residents and our other clients.
So that's an excellent way to provide that connections. Now, beside that fundraising dinner that you talked about, what are some of the ways that the communities and community volunteers can get connected with the, with the center?
Oh, well, we actually have a volunteer coordinator at the campus. We have volunteers who come and read to clients. We have volunteers who are interested in making a spiritual connection with some of our clients. We also have a need for volunteers who are willing to be out and about in the community with our clients. Our residents live on the campus, but they have the same need for socialization that you and I have.
Right.
And if we could have volunteers who are willing to take clients out and make introductions, then our clients can build those social connections that the rest of us have.
Right. And are they? And I've seen some of them are to the point they could make a transition of working somewhere and.
Absolutely. We would love to make more connections with employers. Employers who are willing to let some of our clients volunteer with them, or even work. We do some job training too, so we do work in that direction. But we have some more community connections to make for sure.
Yeah, and in a way, I think the Wendell Foster campus is a kind of a gem in our community. People have not been there, and when they visit them, they'll be surprised. The campus is designed beautifully. I've seen the new homes that you've acquired turned into a residential facility. There's a beautiful conference center that I believe is even open to some of the groups to utilize that to come in.
Absolutely, the Young Meeting House is open,
right.
and it's a pretty large. I'm not sure how many people it fits. Well over 100, and that is open to the public. We also have the sensory park on the campus that is open to the public.
So, and let's not forget about the beautiful sculpture that you have with
Absolutely.
the wheelchair wheels. That's very unique and kind of, shows the symbolism of the services you guys provide.
Yes.
Yeah, Carrie, I know it's been a month on the new job, but it's been very impressive, and already, and we want to wish you best of luck, as you start managing that campus with 400. How many you said?
About 350 employees.
That is that's a big jump from maybe 50 or 60 that you used to have. So, however, I think it's a great great facility. We should be really proud of the Wendell Foster Center, and I'm very proud of you to take it over that too. So,
well, thank you.
Wish you best of luck.
Thank you.
Again, thank you for watching GRADD Dialogue. We're talking to Carrie Blackham. She's the newest executive director of the Wendell Foster campus in Owensboro. It's a facility that you should take time to visit. Maybe have somebody give you a tour of that. It's a great place to volunteer. It's a great place to see what we do for the people that do need services that are disadvantaged, mentally or physically. Thank you very much. Hello and welcome to the GRADD Dialogue, and I'm delighted to have my speaker as the newest executive director of Owensboro Symphony Orchestra. I'm proud because I had a little role to play to make sure that we do get the talents like Dan to really oversee our orchestra. So Dan, those of you may not know, is a lifelong resident of Owensboro. He graduated from Apollo High School and also received a Bachelor of Arts in Georgetown College in Political Science and Music Performance, and has also has a Master in West Kentucky University. After graduation, Dan moved back to Owensboro and was the executive director of Owensboro Symphony Orchestra, I guess for almost 11 years, since 1990, and then in
85 to 97.
Right,
Yep.
and in 97 he decided to go in the private sector and work for a statewide law firm. And again, we were honored to have him come back and become the executive director of a Grindelwald Community Foundation, which I was proud to be at that time on the board as well. However, we decided that we need his talents to really bring the Owensboro Symphony Orchestra on the next level. So I'm really proud to have him as the director, and also proud to have him as a guest of the GRADD Dialogue. Dan, welcome, and let me just jump on that. Next year, Symphony will be 50 years old.
It's amazing.
It's amazing, yeah.
For a community our size
Right,
to have a fully professional orchestra that is turning 50 years old.
And I'm so honored and fortunate that I will be president and working with you to celebrate the 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
Of that too, yeah.
What a great year, we're in the planning stages, as you well know, and we're just getting our feet wet and making certain that we get the community involved in this huge celebration. This community has been so great to the Symphony, and we want to involve the community in this celebration because, after all, it's their symphony.
Right. Before you came on the dialogue, I was interviewing Carrie Blackham about Wendell Foster Camp, but there's also been here for many years, almost 60-some years or so. And to me, I think that is also a jewel, for Owensboro. Now, one of the things that we were impressed, when we were looking for the new director, that you talked about your knowledge about the symphony, not only Owensboro Symphony, but the symphony as a whole, across the Commonwealth and even outside. So tell us, audience, because oftentimes, when you have 50 years of history, people at times take it for granted, that we have it. Tell us about how fortunate we are when you compare us to other communities and the quality of symphony and music and everything else.
We have, from the beginning, had a very strong established relationship with Indiana University. And anybody that knows music schools across the country know that Indiana University trains some of the biggest and the best. And one of those, perhaps, that's a well-known name is Joshua Bell. And who has actually performed with the Owensboro Symphony. We have always hired great talent in conductors. We've just had phenomenal conductors here in Owensboro. And one of the Good Housekeeping seal of approval is from the National Endowment for the Arts. And this orchestra has been recognized over the past for the work that it has done. And we've received many grants from the National Endowment for the Arts. And I think that's one of the big telltale signs of the quality of our organization here in Owensboro.
When people think about symphony, they think about the, coming to the concert, listen to classical music. And you talked about the musicians coming in from, even Indiana University helping us on that. And our conductor, Maestro Nick Palmer does an excellent job. But Symphony also provides some education programs?
That is correct. We have a huge presence in the educational realm here in Owensboro. In fact, the board of directors stepped out several years ago and said, we need to develop an academy here in Owensboro, and we've done just that. And through the academy, there are private lessons, there are kinder music programs, we have a symphony safari program, just a whole lot of educational programs that we take into the schools. And so we focus in regional and smaller orchestras like we are. That is one of our missions, is to heavily focus on training children about the importance of classical music and learning the violin and the piano, and it's a huge part of our program.
I know. I mean, when you had a successful 11 years for the symphony in the past, then very successful in the community foundation. What prompted you to come back to symphony, and what do you see has to be some sort of mission that you want to carry out?
I think we have. The symphonies today are changing, and the audiences that you had back when I was here are dwindling, and we have got to be creative here in Owensboro to keep our orchestra vibrant. Many communities are losing their orchestras just simply because the demand is not there and people are not filling the seats. So when I saw that this opportunity was available, I just had that little spark to say, if there's something that I can do to bring about some opportunities for us to grow in a different direction, I wanted to have that opportunity. And talking with the board was very open, and they realized that we need some change. So I think the next few years will show that we have to take a few different directions to fill the house at each concert, give the community exactly what they want, and make our programs the must-attend events here in town.
And before you came in, Mr. Bill Price, who came in as to fill in as a volunteer director or something. Ended up spending almost like 8 years or so. Done a great job, and he also saw that that you would bring us to the level that
Bill's a dear friend,
yes,
and I have much respect for Bill, and the orchestra's solid grounding is attributed to his leadership.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so Bill and I depend on Bill. We communicate regularly, and yes, he brought us in a new direction and began that process of realizing where we needed to go and what the community's looking for.
In the last, I would say about 2 or 3 weeks or so, maybe the last 30 days or so, Symphony had 2 biggest events. One being the White on Second, the first ever in our Owensboro in the area.
Yeah.
And the second being the opening concert.
Right.
Comment about both of them, and how successful they were.
Well, White on Second was a project of the fundraising committee of the Symphony, and we had 550 people on Main Street who were there basically to enjoy the evening, bring their dinner in, and but to have 550 people to step out and support the Symphony in such a clever way. Great evening and great for the Symphony. Opening night, again, always opening night's a fun time. But one event that I think everybody really enjoys in the community is Concert on the Lawn.
Right.
And we have huge crowds for that, and it's always such a fun event. And so we've got some great things going on. We've got a concert coming up on the 18th, which is the opera from Louisville. And it's really great that Owensboro has the exposure to opera. So that kind of brings up to the what other kinds of programs that that the Symphony is planning for the season. Right. Christmas, is the ever popular, the traditional Christmas Pops concert. We have a James Bond program that the music director has prepared for, I believe that is in March. So we have a series of concerts taking place after the first of the year, even after the Christmas Pops. So.
And the residents of the and friends and family can take part as season ticket subscribers as well as single ticket subscribers.
That is correct. Okay. We do prorate the season subscriptions. We will have, after the 18th, 2 concerts on the subscription series under our belt, but we do prorate the subscription series. It's always cheaper to purchase the season ticket. I think you get 1 free concert for the price of whatever you're... And those tickets can be purchased simply by calling our office at 270-684-0661, and we can help anyone. Single tickets are always available at the River Park Center box office. So if you know that you want to do the Christmas Pops and those tickets are a little bit harder to get, you might want to go ahead and call early and go ahead and reserve those tickets. So.
But Dan, you since you came back as a director, what do you see some of the challenges that you feel like that the Symphony as a whole are facing in the future?
Well, fundraising is always very important, and that's always at the top of my list. But secondly, and probably most importantly, is filling the seats in our hall and making certain that we are giving the community what they want and desire. Programs that are interesting and inviting, and just making certain that we're filling the house and doing our job.
So Symphony provides music for all ages.
All ages, yes. Okay. I mean, you see the children who are in the academy. Their parents are bringing them in, and it's a joy to see those little faces light up when they hear a live symphony performance. How incredible. I mean, and to be in Owensboro, how blessed are we?
Right. Now, you mentioned about the series or the season. In the Symphony season and everything else, and education program, isn't the Symphony also are getting into the outreach program?
That is correct.
Okay.
We've always done contract services, which are basically taking a performance that we do here into another community. We also have the Second Street band program that is actually going to be in Ohio County. We run out performances to Henderson. But we have 3 stained glass series programs that are taking place in area churches, one at Settle Memorial, St. Stephen's, and First Christian. So that program is going. Those performances are actually free to the public. So those are ways that we give back to the community, and those tickets are the stained glass series. There are no tickets involved, and those are free to the public.
So those are the free. And what is a symphony season ticket run?
Oh, they run anywhere from the most expensive seat for all all 6 performances from $100 down to $18.
Wow.
So I mean, you can get a very, very reasonable price ticket to attend the symphony.
And those are generally at the River Park Center?
The subscription concert packages need to be purchased through the Symphony office, which was the phone number that I gave. But any single ticket that wants to be bought to an individual concert is done through River Park Center.
And they can find out everything about the dates and times and all that
through our website.
What about we also an app?
We do have an app. Yes, we do.
Yes,
the OSO app.
All
so,
right.
and it is great
Yes.
because it lines everything up. Even events that aren't necessarily a part of the subscription series are on there as well. So, yeah. But our website is www.theoso.com. And you can get the app through the Apple Store.
And I think those who are watching this show, also need to realize that Symphony, we can also provide. Symphony does provide. Even 4 or 5 piece musicians.
Correct.
Any corporate events or personal events and all.
That is correct.
Well,
Yep.
I think the main thing is to get the exposure out, and to the symphony.
We want to be we are, and we want to continue to be a big part of the community.
Yeah. And I think please help Dan. His goal is to fill the seats, right?
That's correct. Fill the seats.
and we have a great venue in town. So most of the concerts are at the River Park Center.
And Owensboro once again is so blessed.
Yes.
River Park Center is over the top. The acoustics are just phenomenal. We're just so blessed.
Right. Yep. And we can't thank enough, to allow us to partner with them.
Roxy and the whole group down there are great.
Yeah. Dan, I'm delighted, to
Thank
get you
you
back as an executive director of the Symphony, and looking forward to working with you not only for the 50th season's anniversary celebration, but also as the seasons goes on.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And again, you've been watching the GRADD Dialogue, listening to Dan Griffith, Symphony Executive Director for the Owensboro Symphony Inc. And if any questions, or if you would like to get season tickets or single tickets, please contact the Symphony office or go on the iPhone and get the app or any of the smartphone, or even go on the Symphony website.